Let's talk about how to maximize visits in college football 25. So for this, we're going to go with Marshall, two-star program. We're going to create our own head coach. The program does not really matter, but I wanted to make sure I'm going with a two-star program because, I want to show y'all what it looks like when you don't have many hours to work with. I already got a video on my channel titled, Are Visits Worth It in College Football 25? I want to revisit this, man, because in one of my recent videos, we put two guys on the visit, and it actually was very impactful after the update, man. I don't know if something changed. In the patch notes, it said nothing changed with visits. I don't know if this just was a one-off situation, but I want to see if I could duplicate that, man, because that one situation was insane, the amount of influence we gained. So I got to see if I could duplicate it. I got to put it to the test, so we're going to test it here. So first thing first, I'm going to sort by 4 stars and see if we have any of them interested in us. And we do. As a 2-star program, that is great to see we got some 4 stars interested in us. And I'm going to add some other 4 stars to the board as well. I won't go after any 5 stars, not in this situation, just because we're a 2-star school, man. The chance of us getting a small 5-star is low. We could get one, but it's just a little bit on the lower side. So we're going to see if we go after some of these other 4 stars that we have this 2 pipeline boost, add a few of these guys to the board. And for this, I'm not going to go after any 3 stars, man. Obviously, typically I would go after 3 stars, but for this, we're just testing visits, and I don't put 3 stars on visits, man. It's no point. I will only do a 4 or 5 star, put those guys on the visit. So we're going to add some of these guys to the board. We won't be able to go after all of them, won't be able to get all of them, obviously, as a 2-star program, but we're going to see what we can do, and we're going to test out these visits. Another thing that's worth doing when it comes to these visits is maybe switching out your schedule. In this situation, it's not the best because we have a bunch of conference games, and unless you change the settings, you cannot change the conference games. But we got Ohio State here at week 4. Week 4 might be a little bit too early for a visit. It might be. If you could get this Ohio State game, make it home. This is also a away game. If you can make it home, put it at week 6. Week 7, that's perfect, man. That's perfect. You want to get some of these, big time matchups where you're not favored. If you do win a game like this and a guy is on a visit, the amount of boost you will get will be insane for one of these big time matchups. So what we're going to do, we're going to definitely switch out, this FCS game, because no point of having it. We're going to switch that game out, and we're going to pit our week 9 game, and we're going to make sure we schedule a big time opponent. The biggest opponent or the highest ranked opponent is Georgia. So we're going to schedule them guys. And unfortunately we can't change none of these other games. So we're just going to have to make it work. And then we also going to change out this West Virginia game to another big time matchup. Let's see. It looks like it's going to be the highest ranked team we can schedule would be Missouri, but we're going to do I want to do Missouri? Let's actually do, Notre Dame. We'll schedule Notre Dame. So we got a bunch of big-time matchups. Week 2 won't matter because we won't be able to schedule anyone that early anyway. So, we should be able to schedule. And then let's change this Ohio State game. Let's make us home for this game as well because we might be able to schedule a matchup for that. So I know we got a bunch of more home games than we do away games. That's fine. The game don't really care about that. And then we're just going to save. All right, so we filled our board up with all 4 stars, and then we got 1 3-star down there. But we did some scouting, and we couldn't scout everyone. We could only scout our pretty much 10 4-stars, which is not great. But we did get everyone a scholarship. But I wouldn't typically scout 4 stars anyway, but since this is all we're going after in this video, we're going to scout them. Might as well, no point. We didn't find any busts, but we did find 3 gems, so we'll make sure we pursue those 3. But let's advance and let's get into putting some hours into players and then also trying to schedule some visits. We already set our schedule. Y'all seen what we did with that, so let's advance. All right, so we quickly just allocated our hours, 50 points on 9 different of these 4 stars. And some of them don't have any scholarship offers. Some of them are being heavily pursued. And some of them we are already in their top 5. So we're going to advance all the way till we hit our top 5. And that's when we can actually schedule visits. Man, if y'all enjoying the content so far, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that, man. Check out my channel. We got the Temple University rebuild going on. And Temple won their first game in real life. So let's go. All right, so I want to show this. We are 0-0. Let's come back here and recruiting. And I added some players to the board where our deal breaker is championship contender. And how did our championship contender goes down to a C when we have yet to play a game, man? It started off as a B-, But one thing, I mentioned this in the last video, one thing y'all gotta make sure y'all do when y'all get broken, when a deal breaker pop up, you have to go back into that recruit and remove your hours, man. If you do not do that, it'll, once you advance, it'll keep those hours there. So you gotta make sure you notice that you have to remove them hours from those recruits that you got the hours in that give you the deal breaker, man. If that makes sense. Make sure to remove them hours, because that could have been 150 hours. If we did not notice, we just would have lost out on those hours. All right, so we advanced. Some of these players have hit their top 5. So now we can schedule a visit. We could also put the hard sell on. But the thing about a small program, for you to put the hard sell or the visit, when you put the visit on someone, you have to find those hours from somewhere, man. You kind of have 2 options. Most likely you're allocating all your hours onto a player. On a bunch of different players. So if you want to put the visit on someone, you have to either remove the hours off of this player and schedule a visit, or remove the hours from another player, what we just did here, remove the 50 hours on Lamar, and now we're gonna put one of these other players on the visit. So you kind of got the 2 options. When the computer do it, they will always remove the 50 hours off of that player, or however many hours they're allocating, and then they'll schedule the visit for that week. And then the next week, you'll obviously get your 40 hours back. Then they'll put more hours back into that player, whether they hard selling, sending the house, whatever. And that's kind of how the computer do it. I recommend, you go through your board and you figure out who you have the least chance of getting, man. Whoever you have the least chance of getting, remove those 50 hours and then schedule a visit with that player, man. Or with another player, excuse me. And that's exactly what we're going to do, man. So we remove these 50 hours. I'm looking through. We got a couple different players we could put on the visit. Look at here. This guy. We have to come back in this recruitment, man. If we want to win this recruitment, I feel like we borderline got to put this guy on the visit. And that visit got to go well, man. Borderline. Borderline. We'll see. We'll see what actually happens. For a guy like this, we're in a good spot, man. Georgia or any other school has not even offered a scholarship. So I feel good, man. I don't feel the need to put a guy on like that on the visit, man. I want to win a recruitment as cheap and as easy as possible. So if that's going to be an easy recruitment, let it be an easy recruitment. Now this one right here, when Georgia's already in the lead, we have to come back. This is school. This is one situation right here where I'll put a guy on the visit, especially when you look here, man. If we put him on the Ohio State visit and we win, we get 3 upticks in that win category for green. What do that actually mean? I don't know exactly. We don't know exactly what that means, but we're gonna do it, man. We're gonna schedule the visit. We look at his deal breaker. We see coach prestige is on one of his motivations and probably going to be his highest motivation, unless it's playing time. But we don't know. We don't know if it's playing time. So we're just gonna do coach prestige since we know that's gonna be a B grade. And then I also want to try to see if I can find his hard sell as well. So I went through, we would not be able to find his proper hard sell. It was 2 different options. We had to guess. And I don't want to guess when, if you guess wrong, you get more of a penalty. So I don't want to guess. So we got our 50 hours there. Then we also got the visit schedule for Ohio State. And I believe that's going to be week 4. Yes, it will be week 4. And, we don't need to put anyone else on the visit at this point, man. We're good. We're good. We got 10 more hours left. Let's throw the extra 10 hours back on this player right here, and then let's advance. So we advanced. We're currently at week 4. And hold up, we got locked out for a bunch of these guys, man. What is this? We got to remove a bunch of these guys once again. Remove these hours. And this is sad because we was in a great spot for all of these guys, man. We was in a great spot for all these guys. But we got to remove their hours. Maybe we'll be able to get back into the mix. And now I got to go through and add some more 4-stars. All right, so I went back through. I just added some different 4-stars. I didn't offer them the scholarship, but I put the 50 hours in. I did that because we need hours. We need these 40 hours. And these 40 hours from the last visit, you'll keep getting back. And kind of how I look at it as is that's kind of my allowance for visits, if that makes sense, man. That's my allowance for visits. So I want to put a guy on the visit. I gotta just use these 40 hours every week, man. I can't go outside of my allowance or outside my budget. And this week, I think the best visit play is going to be this guy right here, we're currently in first place, but Penn State is gaining ground, man. It's going to be a close recruitment. That will be a close recruitment for sure. We go ahead and put the hard sell on him, but the hard sell is not going to be that great when we have a D- grade for playing style. And then also pro potential is not fabulous. Then we're going to put that 10 hours back on. Then we're going to schedule the visit for Notre Dame for Notre Dame, and then we're going to do the staying close to home, which is going to be, his highest grade. And I think we got a chance, man. I don't know if we'll win this recruitment, but I think for sure we got a chance. Looking down at our other guy that we're going head-to-head with Georgia, we are in a bad spot. We're in this bad spot, man. We could put the hard sell on them, but that hard sell is not going to be great because we know all his motivations at this point. It's coach prestige, brand exposure, and championship contender. Those are not great for us, man. They're not great. We got a D plus, C, and then coach prestige looks like it's a B minus. It's kind of hard to see with that color. And so we're going to try it, though. We're going to try the hard sell anyway and see if it does anything for us. Now, we do have him coming on this visit for this week. What we're going to do, we're going to force the win, man. I know it sounds crazy. We're going to force the win against Ohio State. And I want to see if visits are that powerful that we could come back in a recruitment like that and win it. If we could, that's amazing. If we can win that recruitment, that would be amazing, man. Number 1, Ohio State. If we beat them boys, he got to commit, man. He got to commit. He got to. If he don't, it is what it is. But let's advance and see what happens. So we advanced. We won the game, but we did not get a commitment. We did not walk away with a commitment. We do walk away with some player of the games, but we're not here for that. Let's go check out recruiting. We got Notre Dame next. And let's see, man. Let's see. So we do move up. We do move up to first place. I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that, kind of what I explained earlier, when they schedule a visit, they remove their hours. But we do move up to first place. So we do gain a lot of influence this week during that win. And let's go look at look here. So we got a clear win. That was 50%. I don't know what that means, but 50%. And in the bottom right corner, say total. And we don't exactly know, because no one explained it to us, what it means when you see the arrows that's fully green and then the arrows that's kind of hollow green. We don't know the difference. I'm assuming the hollow green ones are missed potential. If they was fully green, you kind of maximize that visit to the full potential. I'm assuming we, only did half as good as we could have did for that visit. I assume. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments. But it's just, they don't clearly explain what it means. But, that visit went great. We cannot be mad at a visit like that, man, when we take the lead. And we can schedule this guy for a visit, but it's no point. We're already in such a big of a lead. But we do have our 40 hours of allowance, so I do want to put someone on the visit here, and let's just figure out who that's going to be. All right, so we got our 40 hours of allowance. We can schedule Josh for a visit. It's the quarterback that nobody else is pursuing. And, in this situation, who do you schedule? If you schedule against one of these, two programs, Appalachian State or Georgia State, if we lose, we're going to be in a horrible spot. We're going to be in a horrible spot for this recruitment, and we're essentially wasted hours. So we have to make sure we win this game if we schedule a visit for one of these two schools, or it's just going to be counterproductive. Now, we want to go, crazy and try to schedule against Georgia, then, we kind of would guarantee we win this recruitment if we schedule against Georgia and we won that game. But at the same time, you got to consider, do his recruitment even get to Georgia? That's week 9. I believe we're currently at week 5. So does the recruitment get to Georgia? I would say maybe. We're going to schedule it anyway just to see, what happens. And we're going to do Coach Prestige, which is going to be our highest grade for his motivations. And then that's our 40 hours of allowance, and we can advance. So before we advance, we're going to do the same exact thing, man. We got another big visit coming up for this current week. We're going to force our win once again, man. We're going to force the home team to win because we want to see how impactful these visits can be when you're playing top programs. And there you have it, man. There you have it. We get a commitment. I believe that's the wide receiver. Yep, that's the wide receiver we went head-to-head with Georgia with, man. We went head-to-head with Georgia. So if you do these visits right, they can be very useful, man. But for the most part, I feel like I would probably say 7 times out of 10, pitting the player on a visit is either overkill, it's not necessary, or it's kind of a waste. And sometimes the visits just don't pay off how they should. But look here, man, we beat a top 25 ranked team. I forget where Michigan was ranked at that point. But look how much influence we gained, man, for this right in. We are in the gold. We're in the gold, man. I know we forced the win for the visit. Typically this probably will not happen. But if you schedule the visit right, listen, blow up. We blew out Notre Dame. We got another plus 75% for that as well. And, our hard sell is not even great, man, with the D minus. But we secure this recruitment. This one's in the bag. If we want it, we can remove some hours, but we won't. This is the guy we own. We just won his recruitment against Georgia with the visit coming in super clutch. And we got some more hours. We can schedule another visit. All right, so it's time to allocate our next visit hours, man. So right here, Sam. He's the only guy that hit his top 5 that we don't have on the visit already. So we're going to schedule a visit for him, man. I feel like we're going to win this recruitment anyway. Like, normal situation, I probably would not schedule this visit. We're going head-to-head with Army, man. We should win a recruitment like that. And we also, can we put him on a higher sale? Not yet. We don't know his last motivation. But same situation. We could do either Georgia State or Georgia, the Dogs. So we going to do Georgia the Dogs. And we're going to do Coach Prestige because we know that's going to be our highest grade. And that's our hours. That's advanced. All right, this right tackle also hit his top 5. We advanced. And now we can put him on a visit for, guess what, Georgia. We do get a complimentary visit. So that's great to see. And Coach Prestige is going to be another one of his top grades. And we could try to put the hard sell on him. But I don't think it's going to be too useful with a D grade. But let's see if we can find it. So we advance. We do get the other 4-star commitment, man. There we go. All right, so this week we don't have anyone we can put on the visit, man. We did have the hours. All I did was add some more 4-stars to the board, and now we're putting hours into them. But nobody else hit their top 5 that we scheduled a visit for yet. So we're kind of in the same boat. But I wish we had, man. Listen, I wish one more player hit their top 5 because we have one more free visit. We have one more visit open for this Georgia game, and like I said, this is going to be our last big chance to really bring in some crazy recruits. So let's advance. All right, so let's look here, man. So we advanced. We had the Georgia week. Look how much ground Army is gaining on us, man. Look how much ground they're gaining. We got the wrong. How do we have the wrong hard sell on them? Oh man, what did I do? We had the wrong hard sell on them. That's probably how they was gaining so much ground. So let's go ahead and put in the right hard sell. And damn, it's still not great grades. But we're going to put the right hard sell on them now. And we do have them on the visit this week. We're going to force the win again. And I said we're only forcing the win to see how impactful these visits can be, man. To see how impactful these visits can be. And, whoa, we had this right tackle on the visit for the wrong game? No. So we put the right tackle on the visit for the wrong game, and we lost. I thought we put him on the visit for Georgia. We did Georgia State by mistake. And, we might be cooked. We low-key might be cooked for that recruitment, man. We lost the game, and we got a bunch of negative ticked downs. And look at the total in the right corner, man. They all are hollow greens. So I'm assuming, we just dropped the ball on that whole entire visit. But we still lead for now, man. We still lead for now. If he hit that week 12 and go on that pit visit, we might be in some trouble. North Carolina is also on our body, so we just might be in some trouble for that. But we do have hours to put some of these other guys on the visits. Let's see, man. Let's see who we want to put on the visit. And I keep backing out by mistake. But for me, man, like I said, when I put a guy on the visit, I want to put a guy that, I feel like I have to put him on the visit to win that recruitment, man. If I don't want to put anyone on the easy, if we're easily going to win that recruitment or, we're all good, ideally, I don't want to put him on the visit. So just looking through, it looks like the toughest guy it really might be on West Virginia. But, it really might be West Virginia. So we're going to put this guy, wide receiver, who we're battling against West Virginia on the visit. And we just don't have good options, man. We don't have any good options. We're going to go Coastal Carolina, though. That's going to be our best option for the visit. And we're going to do staying close to home because that's going to be our top option. And then we do have 20 hours left. We're just going to allocate some more hours. So we're going to go in here, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to force the win. And we're going to advance, man. I imagine we're going to get another crazy boost for some of these commits because we're playing another top-tier program. All right, so coming back in here at recruiting, and exactly what I thought, man. We get another crazy boost for some of these for some of these guys. Like I said, this guy Josh, I would never put him on the visit, man. Personally, I would never, just because we the only team in that recruitment, man. Those 40 hours we could have put on the player like this, down the board that we're not putting hours in, or we go after some 3 stars or whatever. So personally, I would never put a player like this on the visit. But here it just, boosts what we already knew we was going to get that prospect. This guy, it also secured our recruitment, man. Army was trying to come back in the mix, but recruitment is over. He's gonna commit after this week. This guy we still might get despite us having that bad visit, man. As I said, as long as he don't hit that week 12 and go to Pitt, we might be able to get him. I think we're currently at week 10, so we just might be in trouble for him, man. We might be in trouble. But we do have hours to schedule another visit, and I think it's going to be this guy right here. Tennessee is coming into the mix now. SEC school. It will be a negative visit because we do have another wide receiver coming. But we got to schedule it, man. We got to schedule it, and then we also going to send the house. All right, we get another commitment right in. That's the guy we knew he was going to get anyway, though. But great to see, man. Great to see as we're a 2-star program, man. We got a bunch of commits right here. All right, so we got more hours to schedule more visits, man. We're going to use our allowance again. We're going to do Coastal Carolina for this guy, and we also need to put his hard sell on as well. So we'll do that. And this is actually going to be our last opportunity to schedule visits for anyone, man. Anyone, because it's our last home game of the year. So we're going to come down here and schedule this guy visit. I know we only putting in 10 hours, but like I said, it's our last chance to schedule a visit, man. So we're going to make sure we schedule as many people as possible. And that's it, man. That's the last person we can schedule. So after that, we're just going to go ahead and advance, see what we can do. Okay, we finally get that quarterback. This is the guy that we knew we was going to get for sure, man. No other school even offer a scholarship. And we get a top 108 player quarterback for, I don't want to say nothing, but I mean, we ain't had to do anything, man. All we did was just offer a scholarship, put 50 hours in, and we got that player pretty easily. All right, so the recruitment for this guy, I feel like it's pretty much cooked at this point. And part of it is because we lost that game for the visit we scheduled, man. And I say it's cooked because he's coming to Pitt. He's at Pitt right now, man. He's in Pittsburgh right now on their visit. And if they win, I think he's going to jump up. Pitt is going to jump up to first place and win that recruitment. This guy right here, I think we're in a good spot, man. We do have him coming on the visit this week. We're going to force that win. Same thing for this guy right here. We moved down to second. This is a guy, if we got to put on the visit, man. That's the only possible way we could get him. We got the hard sell on. We putting as many hours in as we possibly can. So we need this visit to be big, man. We need to be a big-time visit. Same thing for a guy like this. Putting as many hours as we can. We do need to put the hard sell on. That's on me for not noticing that. But go ahead and throw that hard sell on. Also throw that last 10 hours. And we need that visit to be big time. This guy we can now put on the visit, but we don't know his last motivation, so there's nothing we can do. And then this guy right here, we also can, or he also is coming on the visit. We're gonna throw the hard sell on him as well, and put our last 10 hours in, and we're gonna advance. We're gonna do the same exact thing as far as forcing our win. I'm not even gonna use the rest of our hours because we're here for visits. We're not here for nothing else. So we're going to force this win again for Coastal Carolina to make sure we're getting the biggest boost possible. Hopefully it's a blowout for us. Force home team to win, and let's advance. So we advanced. We forced the win. We did not get any commits, but it looks like that Pitt visit had to go bad, man. That Pitt visit had to go bad because he did not jump to first place. We're going to actually go back in and see if Pitt lost this past week. But if they would have won, I think he definitely would have committed there. Let's see. This guy right here, we get a big boost. And I think we're good, man. I think we're good to get this middle linebacker. I think we're in a good spot. This guy, the visit did not do much, man. The visit did not do nothing. And that's kind of my issue with visits, man. In situations like this, where the recruitment is already so close. We got a guy on a visit. We win everything. The visit go well. We did have, 2 wide receivers at once. So, that was a negative visit, negative complimentary visit. But we blew out the other team. And still, we barely did anything, man. We just wasted 90 hours that week and wasted all the hours throughout that whole recruitment. For the other wide receiver, the visit did not go as great as I wanted to, man. We're going to lose this recruitment to West Virginia because he's on a visit to West Virginia week 13, which is our current week. So that's another, example why, I'm a little bit, you got to be a little bit cautious with the visit. Same thing here, man. We did not gain much influence. Did not gain much. We're going to lose on that recruitment as well, man. So visits do not go great sometimes. One thing I don't understand that I don't like about this game is why can the CPU schedule visits for week 16? Week 16 is an off week, man. The season ends week 15 in this game. Why can the CPU schedule visits for weeks where they don't have a game in season. I don't get that. Why can't we do that? Why can't we schedule visits for, week 15, 16 when, it's just off weeks and, we still may be practicing as a team. It happens in real life. You'll have a guy come in week 16, week 15 when you're just practicing, getting ready for your bowl game. But in the game, only the computer could do it. I don't know why we can't do it as well. So, yeah, I was right. Pitt ended up getting blown out by Clemson, and that's why their recruitment did not move much. That's why they stayed in third place, and we're pretty much going to win that recruitment. And if they would have beat Clemson, they definitely would have won that recruitment. Clemson probably, was a higher tier opponent than them. But that's pretty much all I got for y'all, man. That's pretty much all I got for y'all. I hope this kind of shows y'all the pros and cons of visits, man. You could put a guy in a visit, win the game, and still not gain much influence. But when you do put a guy on a visit against a top program and you beat that program, you will shoot up that player's board, man. Like, you will shoot up their influence. But if you do lose, just know you're cooked. Just know you're cooked. So, promise and boost. And I hope y'all learned something. If y'all like the video, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that. Appreciate y'all for watching. But we on to the next one.